I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing for a moment of silence.
Good morning, Cavs. Today is Tuesday, April 11th, 2024. I'm Christian Wages. On today's show, we have Roundtable Talks, a segment that promotes open dialogue about different topics happening in the community. But first, let's get into these announcements. The Media Center would like to help you boost your vocabulary power by sharing an ACT vocabulary word of the day. Today's word of the day is pungent, which means having an intensely strong taste or smell. For example, the pungent odor coming from the trash can was overpowering my nose. Cavs, are you interested in applying for a summer job? If so, please join the 180 Community Center or our career specialist this Friday, April 12th, for the 2024 Summer Job Fair in the gym during both lunches. There will be opportunities to learn about job openings and even interview for a position. Juniors, schedule your senior portrait today. Photographers will be at the high school from May 28th to May 31st in the Blue Room in the Media Center. To be included in the yearbook, you have to schedule an appointment. Visit the Upstate Images website or call their office to have your photo taken. Dates and times are limited, so sign up for your slot today. Attention RNE seniors, our online newspaper, The Saver, is again playing a story package about your plans after graduation. Are you going to college, serving in the military, taking a gap year, entering the workforce? Let us know by scanning the QR code that's on screen right now. You can always find that QR code at thesaver.org, which is where we'll pin your future destination on our interactive map. So make sure you hit up that QR code and keep checking thesaver.org to see where all your classmates will be heading next year. Attention Cavs, prom is May 11th from 8 to 11 p.m. at the R2I2. The theme is Enchanted Evening. The price of tickets is $65 per person and can be paid in the fees office. Don't forget, formal attire is required. We hope to see you there. Time is running out to purchase the 2024 yearbook. Reserve yours before the end of April to guarantee your copy and to save the memories of this special year. A payment plan is available at checkout when you order at Jostens Yearbooks. Now let's go over to Annabelle live in the studio with another segment of Roundtable Talks.
Good morning, Cavs. I'm Annabelle Jones and the host of Roundtable Talks, a segment here on the show where we get a group of your peers together to talk about topics you submitted. Today we'll be talking about gun violence with a specific focus here in South Carolina. And we'll be having this conversation with Bhargavi Munagala and Caroline Brandes. A little bit of background. Recently, South Carolina passed open carry legislation that allows anyone over the age of 18 to open carry weapons without training or registration. With the number of mass shootings rising in South Carolina and across the nation, some wonder if this really was the correct decision. What do you guys think some of the impacts of this legislation may be?
I think it's not only hurting other people with more circulation of guns, but it's hurting, if you don't have registration, you don't have the proper training to use it, you could be hurting yourself. You could accidentally hurt yourself while using it. And it's also, you're creating a problem and you're using that same problem to solve your problem. You don't need guns for protection against other guns, you know what I mean?
I think there's absolutely no reason why someone should have to carry a gun without a license or training. It just makes it easier to get your hands on guns, especially illegal ones. And if you're that worried about your safety that you're going out of your way to get a gun, then you should also care enough to get the proper training. There's absolutely no reason why someone should be carrying a gun without a license or without proper training. That can lead to so many accidents and so many dangerous situations.
And what do you guys think some of the elements of proper training should be?
I think in general training on how to use a gun for one. I mean, you don't want stray bullets going anywhere or stuff if someone does have to use a gun for safety purposes or anything else. But I also think it should include how to properly store a gun, like with a gun safe, storing bullets separately from the actual gun. And just in general, how to be a responsible gun owner as well.
Yeah, I think I agree with most parts, where to be able to take your gun, because it's very dangerous to take your guns in areas where you shouldn't be able to take guns as well.
That makes sense. What do you guys think the impacts to your personal safety with legislation passing like this would be?
Well, it's easier access. 18 is a very young age. It makes it easier for minors to access guns. And even at school, there's so many 18-year-old seniors that, could, buy a gun, who could carry guns around school. It makes it so easy for school gun violence to happen.
I totally agree. I mean, school gun violence, it's already an issue all across America. 18-year-old seniors, but also parents could just kids could just grab their parents' guns easily at this point. And it's just so dangerous, and it takes almost nothing for a gun to get into the wrong hands.
And what do you think the impact on already high-risk communities for gun violence, like gangs or elements of the like, are?
Right, I'm saying, it makes it so much easier for minors to get hold of guns, and we don't really need more guns in circulation. Again, already high gun risk communities will just get higher. The crime rates will only increase with more guns in circulation, and minors should not be in any proximity to guns at all.
It'll just make it easier for people younger and younger to get a hold of guns, and it's just overall compounding an already awful situation with gun violence in America. It's just, South Carolina passing legislation like this, it shows a lack of care. It shows that they don't really know what they're talking about, really. There's almost no situation where this would be beneficial for the general public.
And what kind of legislation do you think would be beneficial for the general public to help control gun and regulate that?
I don't know specifically, because this isn't something that I've done a deep study on, but I genuinely think that proper registration, proper, background checks, being able to, because you can't really check criminal history across states. So even people in North Carolina can come here and buy a gun not knowing if they're a criminal or not. So things like these are so important so that guns don't get in the hands of wrong people.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think all guns should be registered. I think everyone who owns a gun should be licensed to have one. And they should go through intensive training on how to store it, how to use it. They should have to be approved for it. Like B said, background checks as well. Also, I think certain guns should be banned. There's no reason why someone should need to have an assault rifle. It does nothing other than kill people. It's not useful for hunting. It's not even useful for protecting yourself because it's a weapon of mass destruction. There needs to be regulations on what type of guns. There needs to be regulations on how people use and obtain guns. And right now there's just not, especially in South Carolina.
Well, that's wonderful. And we could continue to have this conversation all day, but that's all we have. Back to Christian.
Thanks, Annabelle. Please don't forget to give us a follow at RNE-TV on Instagram if you like what you see here on the show. I'm Christian Wages. Please take care of yourself and each other, and remember, it's a great day to be a Cavalier.